Okay. So to those who haven't ate their lunch yet, so again, you can eat while listening. All right. So can you guys see my screen now? Okay, great. All right. So before I'll continue to the exercise number 2, do you guys have a question so far or a clarification? None. None, I guess. All right. So let us now continue with the exercise number 2. All right, so to make it short and simple, so before we have a starting point of 1 and then ending point of 5. In exercise number 2, we just change the starting point, okay, and then the ending point, and then everything is pretty much the same, okay. So in here, initially is 10, and then it will increment by 1, and then until it reach the value of 25. Then that's the time that it will stop looping. Okay, the same with the do until loop. So this one must be false before it will break. Okay, so the same with the post test looping. Okay, so it's just that the condition is at the very end of the line. The same with this one. Okay. All right, so let me just show to you what are the changes. So initially, the value of the exercise number 2 is 10. And then the final value, okay, so let's use pretest, do while y is less than 25, okay? And then it's incrementing by 1. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then 25, okay? So in here, let's just add equals so that it will reach the value of 25, because once it became 25, that's becoming false already. So that's the reason why it's not reaching the value of 25. Okay, so there you go. Oops. So yeah, did you guys get the idea? So it's just the starting point and then the ending number or ending of the loop. Okay, so are we clear so far regarding with the exercise number 2? Right, so at least one were able to get it. So I hope to the others who are not responding, uh, I hope that you're at least getting 10% or 20% of the idea what's happening right now. Okay, so another thing that we can change is we can change the incrementing value. So if we'll change this 1 by 2, okay, so initially the value is 10, so it's plus 2, then the next one is 12, plus 2 again is 14, and so on and so forth, until it reached the value of 24. Okay, because once it reached the value of 26, that's already false, so that will make the looping stop. So 10, next one is 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and then it will stop now, since 26 now is not less than or equal to 25, which is now false. Okay, so are we clear with this one? Are you guys getting the idea? Okay, so isa lang talaga. So let me guys ask you one by one. Miss Danny, are you there? How about Miss Karil?
Sir,
So did you understand this one so far, or a little? Hello? konti lang. Okay, so I highly suggest, you guys to do this one. Okay, this is just a few lines of code. So up to 10 lines of codes only. You can recreate this one and then try to experiment. Okay, because if you're not getting the idea at the very first, the very basic, okay, the exercise one and then exercise number two, you will not be able to get the following examples. Okay. Oh, I see. So kudos to Miss Karil. Kahit nilalagnat siya, pumapasok pa rin siya. So, dapat ito yung mga tinutularan natin. Okay. Well, if you're not really feeling well, you can leave right now and then just watch the recorded video. So, that, para mas mabilis kang gumaling. Kasi mabinat ka eh. Then, kasalanan ko pa. Okay. Pero kung kaya mo naman and then nag-enjoy ka naman, then I think that's okay. But if you cannot proceed anymore, then feel free to leave the meeting. Okay. All right. So again, everything is the same. We have the pre-test and then we have the post-test. It will give us the same result, just a different syntax. Okay. So my question right here is, with this example or exercise number 2, how many times this will loop? Okay. How many times? So you can use our chat box to send how many numbers you guys think this will loop. So I'll give you guys an option. So A, 15, B, 16, C, 17, D, 14. So which one? A, 15. How about the others? So is it 15, 16, 17, or 14? How many times? How many times? A also. Okay. One more. Okay, I need one more answer from you guys. So how many times? Letter A, 15 kayo lahat. Laki dyan, di kayo nagbibilang. Okay, so I think all of you are incorrect. Okay, because if you're going to write it down, okay, so of course initially it will give us the first loop, 10. Second one is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So if you're going to count this one is actually a total of 16 loops. Okay, so it's actually plus 1. Okay, so if you're going to do the math, so 25 minus 10 is 15, yes, but you have to add 1 because you've started with the number 10 right here. So if we started with 11, then that's 15, but since we started with 10, if you're going to count the very first one, this will give you a total of 16 loops. Okay, so that is why exercise number 2 will give us a uh, total loopings of 16. So the same with exercise number 1. So in here we already know that this will loop 5 times. Okay, but if you're going to do the math, 5 minus 1 is 4, so it's plus 1. So that's the reason why it's 5, because we started with 1. Okay, not with 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, so take note that one, because some of the questions on final exam would be similar to that one. So how many times this will loop, etc., and so on and so forth. Okay, so again, we have the pre-test and then the post-test. And then we have another two pre-tests, which with their own syntaxes, but will give us the same result. So the initial value and then the ending value, and then this condition must be true before it will proceed to its looping. Okay, the same with this one. This will loop from 10 to 25, and then it will be displayed on the message box X. Okay, and then for the exercise number 3, so of course we can also do this one. So initially we have a higher value, and then the second one, I mean the ending point, is the lower value. So it's decrementing. So before we have an incrementing value plus 1, but in here it's now decrementing, okay, by 1. So if you're going to do this one, so we have an initial value of So initial value of 25, and then it will end at the value of 10. So this must be true. So y is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to 10. There you go. Okay. Since this one now is the opposite of before. And then decrementing by 1. Okay. So let's test this one out. So calculate, so initial value is 25, and then it will decrement by 1, so 24, 23, 22, 21, until it reaches the value of 10, okay? And then once it reaches a value of 9, it's already false, so that's the time that it will stop looping, okay? So did you guys get the idea so far of this one for the exercise number 3? So we just have a different initial value and then ending value. Okay, so instead of incrementing, we now have decrementing, okay, by 1. So again, my question here is how many times this will loop? How many times? Hello, hello, anyone from the class?
16, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so our initial value is 25, but since we considered the 25 as our starting point, so we have to do plus 1. So 25 minus 10 is 15, but plus 1, it will become 16. Okay, so yeah. And then the rest are the same, again, just a different syntax, okay? For the do loop while, okay, we have this one. Do until loop, we have this one. Do until loop, loop until we have this one, okay? So just test them out and then try to figure out, uh, which one should change if it's a do loop until, and then which one you should change if it's a do while loop. So just familiarize the syntax. Okay, you don't really need to memorize this one because this is already an open notes PDF for you guys. You can always visit this one. And the same with the using while and then using for next. Okay, so we have initial value of 25 and then 10, and it's incrementing by 1. And then in here we have initial value of 25 and then up to 10, and then we have step and -1. So it's decrementing by 1. Okay. So for this your turn, so write codes that print all the add numbers from 1 to 50 using the do while loop. Okay, so take note, it's do while loop. So this your turn right here is actually your quiz number 6. So it's right over here. So 6 quiz is odd numbers. So all you need to do is print all the add numbers, okay, from 1 to 50. Okay, so take note using do while loop. Okay, so are we clear so far, or do you guys have a question regarding with your 6 quiz number 6?
Sir, what does it mean print?
Just show you, just like what we did a while ago. So you can put it inside the uh, pwede naman label, or you can just do this one, okay? Para mas simple. Just put it inside the message box na lang, okay? Because we can actually put that one inside a label or a group box, but to make it easier, okay, just put it inside the message box. So it should loop from 1 to 49, okay? So ganun na lang para mas simple. So any other concerns? Hello, hello. So are we clear now with your quiz number 6? All right. So again, if ever that you have a question, so feel free to ask me anytime, okay? So for the exercise number 4, okay, so write codes that compute the squares and cubes of the integers from 1 to 10 with the following output. note, use listbox property items. So you can also do this one. Okay, you can print all the odd numbers using listbox. So it is now up to you. So it's also okay. This one is actually a lot better. Okay, so yeah, and also use message box if you want to. So in here, we're going to do this kind of output right here. So we need the number 1 to 10 and then the square of it. So let's say 8 squared is 64, 9 squared is 81. And then the cube of it. Okay, so 8 cubed is 512, 5 cubed is 125. Okay, so let me just open my exercise number 4. Okay, so in here I only have two components, the button and then the list box. Okay, so for the number, square, and then cube, so I put it right here on the items. Okay, so just click this triple dot beside items collection, and then you will see the text right here. So the first one is number, second one is a square, and then the third one is cube. So just hit OK, and then it will give you this result right here. Okay. So in here, the one that we program is a compute button. So just double click that one. So we have declared three variables. The first one is the number. The second one is the squared value. The third one is the cube one, okay, which is the third value. So for the squared, so all you need to do is square the number. Okay, number, concat, what do you call this one? Caret, and then 2, okay, or exponent 2. For the cube, so just cube that one, okay, so raise to 3. So this is now the new thing to you guys. So this is where we are going to display, okay, the uh, results right here for the number, square, and then cube. So under list box 1 dot items, so just add this function right here, that add, okay, and then inside it we have the variable number, okay, which is the initial value is 1, and then VB tab. So this VB tab right here is quite similar with our tab in Microsoft Word. So let's create a new one. I'll just show to you guys. So uh, hitting a space is one space, okay, but hitting a tab button is like having 5 spaces, okay, 5 or 6. So that's the same, okay, with our VB uh, application. Okay, so VB tab will give us 5 spaces. Okay, so in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that it will be aligned on my square column right here. And then another VB tab, so that it will give me 5 spaces again, and then it will be aligned on my cube column right here. Okay, so yeah, just use and for concatenation so that they will be concatenated with each other. So number results followed by 5 spaces squared, and then followed by 5 spaces. And then in here, they are incrementing by 1. So this is the only thing that we need to increment since the squared and then cube will follow. And then we've used until. So this must be false before it will execute the items. Okay. So once it reach 11, that is already true. So that's the time that it will stop looping. Okay. So basically this will loop 10 times. So 1 to 10. So compute, it will give me these values right here. All right. So 1 to 10, 1 to 100, and then 1 to 1000. Okay. So if I remove this one, then it's just like, having a two values combined together. So there you go. So we have 11, 4, 8, 9, 2, 7, and then 16 and 64, and then 25, and then 125. So that is the reason why we have to put here VB tab. Okay. All right. So if you want to display, let's see, 1 to 20, then let's make this 121. then it will give us now the results from 1 to 20, and then their squared value and then their cube value. Okay, so are we clear so far regarding with your exercise number 4? Hello, hello, clear? So again, whatever I'm doing right here, I highly suggest that you guys do this one also, okay? Because with that, you'll be able to appreciate what I'm trying to show to you guys right here. Okay, for the exercise number 5, okay, so here's the solution. So you can copy this one, or you can just paste it with my own codes right here. So they are just the same. Okay, so we have the solution right here using do loop. Okay, the one that I've used is loop until. Okay, do loop until, so you can also do that one. And then here's another solution using while, so you can also do this one, just a different syntax. Okay, so your turn. So write codes that print the degrees Celsius from 5 to 45, step 5. So take note, we have step 5. So maybe this is an indicator that we have to use the for next structure, the last one right here, using for next. So let's try to do that one using a for next structure later on. Okay, but for now, so in here it's asking us to convert the Celsius into a Fahrenheit. So from 5 to 45, so it's stepping uh, by 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20 until you will reach 45. And then their equivalent values in Fahrenheit. Okay, so we still need to use list box. So the first column is the Celsius, and then the second column is the Fahrenheit. So let's see if I have that one. Degrees conversion. Ah, this is not it. Open project. Mm-mm. All right, here's your turn. Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay. So again, we have similar. Okay. Result. I mean, interface. We have the button and then the list box. So let me change this one. What is the one that is in here? Let's just say compute. Compute. And then this is the one that we need to program. Let me remove this one. We don't need that farm load. Okay, so I've just declared two variable, the Celsius and then the Fahrenheit. So cell for Celsius and then Fa for Fahrenheit. Okay, so I declared them as single because we need decimals. Okay, you can declare the one as a double, as a float, as a decimal. So either of those type. Okay, so the initial value is of course 5. Okay, and then the final value is 45. So 5 to 45. Okay, so in here it will increment by 5. So that's already it for incrementing value or incrementation. And then here's the conversion or the formula on how we convert this Celsius, okay, into Fahrenheit. So if you're going to search that one on the internet, so Celsius Fahrenheit formula. So we have this one. So multiply it by 9 over 5 and then add 32. Okay, so you can also use 1.8, but I will use a 9.5 to be much more precise. So in here, multiply that one by 9 over 5 and then plus 32, and then you already have the uh, Fahrenheit value of that Celsius value. Okay, so yeah, all we need to do is put the result, okay, on the list box. So again, that add Celsius for the first column, okay, and then VB tab, okay, and then format fa, and then the symbol f right here. Okay, so in here the f right here is the same with fixed value. So when we say f, this will give us exactly 2 decimals. Okay, so if you want to remove the decimals, just put here 0.00. But since we are displaying the decimals, then you have to put here F or fix. Okay, so again, this format right here came from module 7. Okay, just go back on that table and then you will learn on how to use that format function. So let's see if we have the correct result. So compute, so 5 to 45 and then their equivalent uh, values or result, okay, in Fahrenheit. Okay, so are we clear so far? What's happening with this one? Don't save. So did you guys get the idea? So this is quite similar with the square and then the cube before, just change the formula into something like this. So you can come up with a different program as long as you know where to put the formula, then you can put it right here. Okay, Celsius and then Fahrenheit. So depending on the variable that you have declared. Okay, so any questions so far?
So what's the use of the con again? And symbol.
Concatenation. It's like we are combining those two variable. Okay. So this one is
Okay,
quite
sir.
similar with the Juan de la Cruz. I don't know if you guys have already saw that one in module 7 on the 3 hour and 45-minute video. I think I showed there on how to combine two variables. Okay. So it's quite the same with, on how you will put PHP or dollar sign, okay, before the uh, amount. Okay. So this you can do that one, using concatenation to add a additional uh, text right here, like let's say PHP, and then beside it is the amount value. Okay. All right. So any other concerns? Okay. So I guess none anymore. Anyway, let's now proceed to the exercise number 5. So the bank charges 12% simple interest on the amount per annum. Write a PV program that allows the user to input for the amount loan and the number of years to pay. So compute and display the lump sum amount for each year. Okay, so this is a very good example, for you to be able to see your monthly interest. Okay, so initially we have 34,000 for 1 year. Okay, and then if you wanted to pay that one until 7 years, okay, you will see that it's like doubling already the amount that you're going to pay, okay, or the interest that you're going to pay. So yeah, of course, the longer the year, okay, the higher the interest. So let's do this one. So for the amount, okay, here's the formula. So it's P, or the principal amount, times 1 plus R is the interest rate, which is a 12% interest rate. Okay, multiplied by T. Okay, multiplied by the number of years that you're going to uh, pay your loan. Okay, so in here it's like 12 times 7. So how many interest is that? How many interest? How much interest? 7 times 12. So it's like 84% of the interest of the initial value, okay, or the amount that you have loaned. Okay, that's the amount of money that the bank will earn from you. Okay, so business. Okay, so here's the code for this one. So let me just show to you guys the working program. So that's exercise number 5. Okay, so we have two text box, oops, two labels. Oops, what's happening? My mouse is double clicking. So we have the two labels, the list box, and then the calculate button. So in here, The one we program is of course this calculate button. So just double click that one. So let me just remove this one. All right, so I have declared three variables. I mean, four in total. So amount, P, and then T. Okay, so amount and P as single, and then T as integer. So T as integer because this is the year, so we don't need decimal value for this one. And then for the R, it's a fixed value, which is 0.12, so that's 12%, okay, of interest. And then for the letter P, so this is the amount, the loan. Okay, so whatever is the value of your text box 1 will be passed onto our, naglolo yung mouse ko, which will be passed onto our variable P right here. Okay, and then in here, so as you guys can see, I didn't put any text, okay, on my collection. So for the text, it's actually blank. Okay, I mean right here, list box. So for the collection, it's actually blank. So you can place the titles or the headers. Okay, just like this one, we have the year, amount per year on the code itself. Okay, so in here, we have the year and then the amount per year. So you can also do that one. Okay, but of course you can do that one on the properties, but just to give you another ways to do it using coding, so you can also do this one. Okay, for the header or the title. And then P is equal to 1. So of course, for the initial value, the minimum amount of year, okay, is amount of year. Number of years to pay as 1. Okay, and then we're using do while loop structure right here. So while T is less than or equal to text box to the text, so this text box 2 is actually this number of years to pay. So you're the one who's going to put how many years would you like to pay the amount that you have loaned. Okay, and then here's the computation, okay, for the amount that will be displayed on this list box right here. Okay, so just copy this one. Oops, where's that one? Just copy this one. Okay, so make sure that you have declared all of those variables and then you have equated them with the correct text boxes inputs, and then you can do this one. So P times 1 plus R times T. Okay, and then of course it's incrementing by 1 since it's every year. All right, and then in here we're going to display the years first. Okay, year, and then followed by the number of number of followed by the amount, okay, every year that you're going to uh, pay in total. All right, so in here I added a dollar sign wherein, maybe it's the one that you're borrowing is a dollar money. Okay, if you want PHP, you can use PHP right here, but let's just use dollar for now. And then again, I forgot to mention we have format right here, and then the variable amount, and then the F, wherein it will give us 2 decimals in total. Okay. All right. So let's say I wanted to borrow 100,000 pesos, and then I will pay that one uh, within 3 years. So calculate. So if I will pay it 1 year, okay, in just 1 year, okay, I'll pay a total of 112,000. So that's 12%. Okay, 12,000. And then if it's 2 years, then 24,000. If it's 3 years, then 136,000. Okay, if it's 10 years, then it's a total of 120,000. So it's 1 million. Ah, no, no, no. 100, yeah, 1 million, I guess. 1 million, mali na yung competition ko. 220,000 lang. Okay, because it's 120,000 interest. All right. Ah, I forgot to mention. So this is the bag of this one. So if I click calculate again, it will be just added on this list box. So that is why we have to clear this list box every time that we're going to press this calculate. So I will show that one later on. Okay, we have following examples that has a uh, clearing a function of this list box right here. But for now, we'll stop right here. So I hope you guys got the idea of this example. So are we clear so far? Or do you guys have a question? Okay. How about the others? All right. So I guess the others don't have a questions. So yeah, that's it for now for the part two, and then we'll just continue the rest on the part three. Okay. So goodbye for now, and then see you guys later.